Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Hey Timmy, how you doing? Dennis Biz, how you going? Yes, we're all doing well here. Hope you guys are doing good. Feeling much better, Timmy? Your voice is still gone? Oh no. Oh dear. Well guys, I might be off for the next 2 days. That's why I'm doing this live this morning. I am babysitting for my daughter and it was her birthday the other day and we're going down for a little get together. So yeah, so I might be off for the next 2 days and back on my Sunday, which is your Saturday, I believe. Okay, let's get into it. Jack the Aussie, they love them. Killers, rapists and pedos get cash payment up to $1,000 in Australia. Australian taxpayers are paying more than 200 former immigration detainees, including murderers, rapists and pedos. Why? Why are we doing this? Because our government are totally corrupt. And this would not just be in Australia. I'm pretty sure that around the world we're all paying for this kind of thing. To hold detainees. Great. Funky Town said breaking. Funky Town. Breaking, Russia and Ukraine have reached a deal. Ooh, interesting. And it was only 18 minutes ago. That post has been deleted. Maybe they haven't. Okay. Sorry, that post has been deleted. Did you see that? Watch. Ready? The bottom of the screen. Sorry, that post has been deleted. And sorry, that post, I can't even remove it from my bookmarks. Okay, so maybe they haven't reached a deal, okay? Take that with a big grain of salt, that one. I know they were working towards one. That stock chick said if there was an open invitation, why wouldn't you go to a beautiful country like Australia? We must build more houses. Migration set to surge as graduates bring in families. Indian and Nepalese foreign student graduates are likely to bring tens of thousands of family members to Australia while they work on post-study visas, undermining promises by Labor and the Coalition that they can get migration numbers under control. Well, they're doing nothing to get them under control. In fact, they're just handing them out like Easter eggs. I don't know. Okay, the British Patriot, and here we go back to UK. The only British politician advocating for mass deportations is Nick Tenconi. Nick says we will deport 5 to 10 million people who don't have the right to remain here. We will send 5 flights per day loaded with anyone who doesn't belong here. This is the way to save Britain. Is this guy a politician, Nick Tenconi? Guys, he might be one to look at and see where which party he's in, and maybe try and support him a bit more. Okay, Benny Johnson said, breaking, President Trump signs executive order requiring college accreditors to focus on merit, not DEI or politics. Well, that's good, because I can't think of anything worse than someone who barely passed their medical exam operating on me, or didn't pass it, and just, because here in Australia, no one really fails. They aim to pass people. So they give you chance after chance after chance to pass. And they'll help you. Okay, so I couldn't think of anything worse than someone who maybe failed medical school operating on me. Great. Islam invasion set Australia in trouble. Violent Muslim group attacking Melbourne police in response to Thursday, where a Muslim man was shot, or a Muslim, sorry, doesn't say man or woman, was shot dead after charging police with a knife. More Islam, more problems. So apparently it broke out in a bit of a kerfuffle. Here we go. I don't know. Everyone's just chasing the police pretty much. The police are powerless. They're hopeless. In Melbourne anyway, or mostly around Australia. I believe half of it is like their hands are tied. They have to listen to the aboves, the ones that are more corrupt. Sudden and unexpected said, oh, okay. Tim and I have something to say about this, but I thought I'd read it, and then I'll put it in the bookmarks to read again when Tim is on with us. Chemotherapeutic drugs are the only classification of drugs where the prescribing doctor gets a direct cut. So if your doctor prescribes chemo for you, here's how it goes. The doctor buys it off the pharmaceutical company for $5,000. He sells it to the patient for $12,000. Insurance pays $9,000 and the doctor pockets $4,000. The only reason chemo is used is because doctors make money from it, period, and it doesn't work 97% of the time. Dr. Peter Glidden. Okay, I don't know. I do believe that's probably right. That's what I've believed for a long time. Okay, Scott Lewis. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is a big... Okay. Jim Ferguson said the war on men is real, and the numbers prove it. RFK just dropped a bombshell. Testosterone levels in men have dropped by 50%. Today's teenage boys have less testosterone than a 68-year-old man. Let that sink in. Masculinity is vanishing. Vitality is collapsing. The modern male is being chemically, socially, and spiritually dismantled. This isn't evolution. It's engineering, a biological sabotage of what it means to be a man. Fertility down, strength down, confidence shattered, and no one's supposed to notice. Wake up. They're not just after your freedom, they're after your biology. And Scott Lewis said they said masculinity was the problem. Now they've chemically castrated a generation. Testosterone levels in men are down 50%. Teenage boys with less drive, less strength, less fire than men pushing 70. Let that sink in. That's not evolution. That's enemy action. Masculinity is being dismantled socially, spiritually, and biologically. And I don't think this happened by accident. Strong men speak the truth. Strong men defend their homes. Strong men raise sons who don't bow. But what do we have instead? Fertility down, strength down, vitality down. Boys rage to apologise for being boys, And now the regime has the nerve to act like this is all natural? That we should evolve into softer, weaker, quieter creatures? No. This isn't evolution. This is engineered extinction. They don't just want control over your thoughts. They want command over your blood. This is not just cultural war anymore. It's biological war. And the first ones off the battlefield were the ones who never realised we were in one. Yeah, guys, if you don't know that you're in a war right now, we are. Worldwide. It's not just in the USA, it is everywhere. And the corruption runs deep. It is the deep state. Judge Janine Fan said he's compromised. Sean Davis said John Roberts sat around and did nothing while US citizens were thrown in solitary confinement without a trial 4 years. But when a foreign terrorist illegal was deported, Roberts suddenly became very concerned with due process. Yeah, that's because he wasn't John Roberts, that Justice John Roberts, wasn't he the one who adopted 2 Irish children? I don't know. Anyway, Clown World is laughing because this is AI, okay? Somebody has taken over and spoken for RFK, sorry. Maverick Alexander said, wait, RFK said what on Bill Maher? This clip is unreal. Yeah, it's because it's not real, I believe. Okay, let me play this.
Bill, we're getting ahead of ourselves. All I'm saying is that autism is only part of the story. Kids are gayer than ever, and they're fat, repulsively fat. That's another piece of what I'm trying to do here, okay, Bill?
Well, it's certainly...
We need to be able to call a spade a spade. If a kid is fat, gay, or let's say a chess American, we need to call it out. You can't solve a problem you're not willing to address, you fucking aging pothead. But as I was saying, the Magamons from Ohio, what you West Coast dipshits call the anti-vaxxers, might be right about this whole thing. And the psych meds are probably turning the kids into flamers.
I think that's the truth.
Okay, that was AI done, okay? That was not real. RFK Jr. did not say that. Someone has done an AI video. Okay, Liberty Plus said, why was Awan's security clearances forged, granting them access to congressional intel despite falsified vetting? Why did Mueller and Holder shut down FBI investigation of stolen stealth defense technology implicating Lockheed Martin while Comey was Lockheed's top lawyer? FBI, A1's security clearances forged, granted access to congressional intel despite falsified vetting. And Mueller and Holder shut down FBI investigation of stolen US stealth defense technology implicating Lockheed Martin, while Comey was Lockheed's top lawyer. Interesting, isn't it? That's not the only thing. Curiously, before the 2016 elections, CrowdStrike removed their blog post announcement of investments they'd received from Google. It was in tandem with news being leaked from infamous A1 brothers and their connection to CrowdStrike and meeting with Google capital investors. Now, because I'm on YouTube, I'm just going to say that everyone mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything here is theory until proven fact, okay? Curiously, before the 2016 presidential elections, CrowdStrike removed their blog post announcement of investments they'd received from Google. It was in tangent with news being leaked from the infamous A1 brothers and their connection to CrowdStrike meeting with Google capital investors. In a very remarkable way, this speedy deletion was also in tangent with the announcement of former Obama's personal advisory board member taking the seat as Director of Global Public Policy for Google and a new investment type company called The Firm. Of course. In a very remarkable way, this speedy deletion was also in tangent with the announcement of, okay, yep, we've read that. Many investigative journalists like Gavin McFadden kept detailed records of what was delivered to WikiLeaks and other entities in early 2016 pertaining to CrowdStrike, the Clinton Foundation, the Firm and Rosemont Venture, and among other things. If there were rumours circulating about Braverman, why didn't he just come back onto the scene? Is it because he was really busy with members of the Firm facilitating the cyber forensics exit plan that acted like a pack? New Day type of media that push conspiracy theories and tried to dilute the GOP support of President Trump. Paper trail, Braverman was in Ukraine. The records exist. He was doing business for the Clinton Foundation and Clinton campaign that evolved to work via Google Capital Investments, facilitated for CrowdStrike. This alleged chain of communications looked like a private mode of communication that appeared to cross between FTP, File Transport Protocol, and traditional government cables with novel identifiers. Some easily identifiable names and or entities observed are key CrowdStrike persons. Well, I hate how there's you can't just read it in one go. Clinton Foundation, Loan Capital, State Street Capital, Solomere Capital, British Intelligence, GCHQ, John Owen Brennan's AOL account, Penn Quarterly Group, an EU Technology and Internet Officer, Australia's Chief Data Analytics, Imran Awan, various universities around Europe, the Atlantic Council, Brookings Institute, SICTL, is that right? SCYTL, Brennan Institute, and members of the Obama administration. Why would CrowdStrike Co. founder, former McAfee CTO, be showcased with world leaders in what seemed to be discussions of deployment testing in the DNC process of electing a candidate? These documents seem to contain certain program deployment instructions that appear to relate to data mining and telling information for predictive outcomes. Why would the IT guy for Congress or IT guy for Congress be involved? From what we were able to decipher, reports were sent to point of contact within NABU, the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine, a specific organisation, the Organisations for Security and Cooperation in Europe, Ella, whatever, and SICTL, who is the lead provider on electronic voting software. We are told that this program report or source code is on the laptop computer Debbie Wasserman Schultz threatened police over. Wow. Holy guacamole, it keeps going. U.S. District for Court Judge for D.C. Amit Mehta orders DOJ to explain why A1 documents are being kept a secret. Imran Awan, a Pakistani national, was internet technology aide to more than 40 Democratic members of key national security. Leaking all over the place. Imran Awan, a Pakistani national. Okay, we did read that. The National Security and Foreign Policy Committees in the US House of Representatives, their positions gave them access to all the members' digital communications and documents, all except Imran Awan lost access to House IT networks in February 2017. Holy guacamole. And that's not the only thing on this. There is more. Okay, Mario Norfolk, and it involves Obama's birth certificate signer offer. What's her name? Fuddy. Loretta Fuddy? Mario Norfolk said Press Secretary Levitt, Zelensky negotiating through the press is unacceptable. This was 59 minutes ago. I'll take this one for more truth than the other one. In order to make a good deal, both sides have to walk away a little bit unhappy. President Zelensky's been trying to litigate this peace negotiation in the press, and that's unacceptable to the president. His patience is running very thin. He wants to see peace, but both sides have to be willing. Okay, Press Secretary Levitt, Trump wants peace, not more bloodshed, as we just read. Okay, back to Australia again. Biko Konstantinos said, #1 destination for rich foreigners. So we allow the rich to profit from our housing bubble while an entire generation is locked out of home ownership. And The Age, which is an Australian media thing, deep-pocketed Chinese property buyers are more likely to buy in Australia. The #1 destination for wealthy Chinese property buyers, and that's why China doesn't have that many people in their country, because they're all here. They're all over here and over there and everywhere. China's sort of gone out in a bit of a, I mean, I like Chinese people. They're lovely people, but some of them are being sent out to spy. You know that? They still have spies and infiltrators and double agents and things like that. You know, it never stopped after, World War II? Libs of TikTok said, WAPO, hi, we're writing a story that you've been blamed for threats and we want you to comment on 2 of your posts. Me, who blamed me for the bomb threats? WAPO, oh, that was us. Me, which post do you want to comment on? WAPO, we're not telling you. Lol, what? Okay, Naomi's a bit of a pickle here. Hi there, my name is Naomi and I'm a reporter for the Washington Post where I cover social media companies such as Meta. I'm working on a piece shortly about a recent decision by the Oversight Board to uphold a decision by Meta to leave up 2 controversial posts about trans people. The Oversight Board said the posts didn't violate Meta's hate speech rules. Our story will report that the posts that were being reviewed by the Oversight Board were posted by Libs of TikTok. We will, of course, mention the context that some people think that such content could open the door to more real-world harm against trans people, while others think people should be free to criticise the rights of trans people. And we will mention that Libs of TikTok has blamed for sparking threats at hospitals and prompting regulators to pass restrictions on gender identity-related content in schools. Let me know if you want to throw in a comment. What's her name? Naomi what? Naomi Nix. Okay, you're an idiot, Naomi. Anyway, Libs of TikTok said, hi, which post are you referring to and who blamed us for sparking threats? Thanks. And Naomi said, so we're not going to identify the specific post the Oversight Board reviewed in the piece, and my colleagues have previously covered the hospital issue here. Libs of TikTok have said, so let me get this straight. You guys falsely accused me of causing threats, and now you're quoting yourself asking for comment on your false accusations? Lol. Naomi said, we can definitely make sure your perspective about the allegations being false in the story. God, she's nut job. Naomi, nut job. Nix. Also, let me know if you have something to say specifically on the Oversight Board's ruling that the post didn't violate Meta's rules. That's what the story is mostly about. Yes, well, look, hurty words and all that, you know. But they don't actually hurt people. And the people that do go and start threatening and causing violence, well, that's against the law anyway. What is wrong with people? Holy guacamole. Okay, Brocky said millions for multicultural monuments, but not $1 for the Kokoda. Sydney's only Kokoda Track Memorial, the ground where we honour the young Australians who stared death in the face and fought like lions for this nation, is about to be wiped off the mat. And why? Because the Albanese government says there's no more money. What absolute rubbish. This is the same government that throws millions at Assyrian festivals, showers cash on Gandhi statues, pours money into Asian temples and hands out $500,000 for security at a Korean community centre in the same suburb. But when it comes to the boys who held the line at Kokoda, the men who fought and died to keep Australia free, they can't find $186,000. $186,000. That wouldn't even pay for Anthony Albanese's junket flights to a climate talk in Brussels. Where's the local MP, Sally Situ? I'll tell you where, missing in action, not very responsive, they say. That's political spin for couldn't give a damn. Where's the Defence Minister, Richard Marles? Silent, hiding behind a desk in Canberra while the memory of Kokoda is bulldozed. And the RSL, the organisation built on the backs of these diggers? Not a peep. Shame on all of them. This is not about money, this is about respect. This is about honouring the men who fought in the mud, the blood and the jungle of New Guinea, standing between Australia and the Japanese war machine. If those diggers hadn't fought at Kokoda, we wouldn't be here today. And this is how they're repaid? If this was a multicultural shrine, there'd be no debate. If it was for a foreign leader or a minority group, the cheque would be signed before lunch. But when it comes to Aussie diggers, the men who bled for this flag, they get kicked to the gutter. Well, I've had enough. This is not just an insult to the veterans, it's a disgrace to the nation. Australians need to rise up, flood the offices of these gutless politicians, call Sally Situ, call Richard Marles, demand they fix this today. And while you're at it, ring the RSL and ask them why they've lost their bloody voice. Because if we let this happen, if we let the memory of Kokoda be erased, we're saying Australia doesn't care about its own heroes. Well, I care, and you should care. And if there's any decency left in this bloody country, every single Australian should be furious. Save the Kokoda Memorial, honour our diggers, and stand up for Australia. Well, that's what I'm doing at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, or 4 a.m. I'm not sure what time, but I'm getting up there early. There is a memorial up the road from me where they gather every year. And for the first time, I'm going up there tomorrow. And I'm going to pay my respects to all the diggers who fought for this country. MAGA Voice said breaking, Donald Trump just revealed there's a deal with Ukraine and Russia and he'll meet with Putin soon. Donald Trump has done the impossible. This is huge. This was an hour ago. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I guess we'll find out. Okay, the Vigilant Fox, CNN's Dana Bash just got steamrolled by Maha on live TV. She tried to corner Dr. Marty Makary with a jab at RFK Jr., but he flipped the script on her fast. It was a moment that spoke for every fed-up mum in America, and it all started with a dirty secret hiding in your pantry. Okay, let's go. It's a thread. Okay. The truth is breaking through, and this was a turning point. It all started with a truth bomb, a terrifying one. The FDA commissioner just went on national television to expose what's really inside the food dyes being pumped into our snacks. And what he revealed left jaws on the floor. CNN wasn't ready for what Dr. Marty Makary was about to say. When host Dana Bash asked why these petroleum-based dyes are still allowed in food and medicine, Makary didn't hesitate. Am I saying that right? Makary. Well, good question, Dana. I don't think we appreciated the potential risks to human health and child health when they were first introduced, he said. Then he dropped the line every parent should hear loud and clear. Yellow dye number 5, for example, was noted to be a bright, vibrant yellow colour as the byproduct of coal tar in the coal ash. Coal tar. That's what's been showing up in your kids' snacks. Makary explained how it happened. And then people decided to put it in fabric, and then they thought, well, we can put it in food. It wasn't an accident, it was a failure, one that went unchecked for decades. But the science is finally catching up. The studies have caught up with the introduction of these petroleum-based chemical food dyes, and the data doesn't look good, especially when it comes to children. Studies have shown an association with ADHD. It also makes ultra-processed foods look more attractive for young kids messing with their minds, where they feel full and they want more of the food. Now, at long last, the FDA is taking action. We've got an epidemic of childhood chronic diseases, so we're erring on the safe side and moving to remove these from the US food supply. They allowed coal tar byproducts, originally meant for textiles, into our food, and only now they're beginning to clean up the mess. The tone shifted quickly as Dana Bash turned to politics, tossing out a classic CNN curveball. She tried to bait Dr. Makary into attacking RFK Jr., citing the resignation of an NIH researcher who accused Kennedy of censorship. Here's how she framed it. Dr. Kevin Hall, who's a top researcher on the issue, ultra-processed foods, he quit because he said he experienced censorship under RFK. What's your response to this criticism? Makary kept his cool. Well, I don't know that individual. I understood that he resigned. Then he went deeper. I think there are some people who, when they're resigning, are taking some cheap shots. And with that, he flipped the narrative fast. Look, Republican, Democrat, independent mums turned out to vote for President Trump on this very issue that Secretary Kennedy has championed. Makary made it clear this isn't about party lines, it's about protecting the children. So I think we need to recognise getting petroleum-based food dyes out is not a silver bullet. It's not going to instantly convert America's kids to being a healthy generation, but it's one step, and there's a lot of unity around this individual topic. No spin, no sidestepping, just straight talk. And a reminder that RFK Jr. is focused on the mission, not the media noise. Okay, and follow the Vigilant Fox if you can on Twitter. Then came the moment CNN tried to sell panic. Dana Bash pushed the narrative that recent FDA cuts were reckless and blamed them for a formal official's resignation. Makary shut it down instantly. No, Dana. He exposed the bloated bureaucracy instead. All the cuts were limited to communications staff. You would not believe the number of communications staff at the agency. Then he unloaded the real story. Redundancies in IT and in legislative affairs and lobbyists from the FDA to the Hill. There's been a fiefdom culture, and we're now eliminating redundancies and consolidating those services. And the knockout line? No cuts were made. There were no layoffs to scientists or food inspectors. Macquarie wasn't pulling punches. My job as a commissioner is to make sure that scientists and inspectors have all the resources they need to do their job well. CNN sold the collapse. Macquarie delivered the receipts. Then came the final showdown. Dr. Macquarie didn't just respond to CNN's attacks on the FDA, he laid out exactly why the changes were necessary. The revolving door, for one, I could think of that one, at least. He acknowledged that not everyone would leave quietly. You're going to see some cheap shots from an individual that takes the early retirement offering, and they might say, well, look, we're concerned, we're leaving because of safety concerns. But he drew a clear line in the sand. But I can tell you there were no cuts to scientists or inspectors, and my job is to make sure that we're doing our job well in a more efficient way. When Bash brought up rising foodborne illnesses, Macquarie didn't flinch. Any discussion of cuts, Dana, has to mention that the FDA has doubled its number of employees since 2006. The headcount was increased by 100%. So that's the important context, when we understand how to make the organisation more efficient. She pressed again. So, for example, according to the CDC, foodborne illnesses are on the rise in the US. You're going to continue to inform people that when there are outbreaks of foodborne illnesses? Macquarie responded with a clear plan. Yeah, I think we're going to be more efficient because when you have over 100 communications staff, you lose that sense of owning the delegation of responsibilities, and that's our challenge. He ended with a strong message of confidence. These transitions are never easy and the cuts are never perfect. But I think we're going to be stronger for it, and I do believe in the scientists and inspectors at the FDA. CNN pushed fear. Macquarie delivered clarity, purpose and a vision to make the FDA stronger than ever. And I think these communications staff are the part of the revolving door. From, say, Bayer, do you know that Bayer employees will apply for a job at the FDA? They will go and work at the FDA until a few things get approved, and then they'll get a very good job back at Bayer again with a raise. Okay, and that's it for that one. Good on Dr. Macquarie, Marty Macquarie. Okay, Gunther Eagleman said, meet the leader of the judicial coup, Justice Roberts. And I do believe he is the one who adopted two Irish children off the book. Okay, I'm just saying, I don't know, I'm just theorising. John Ruddock, MLC, said world should unite and declare war on Britain. Global warming is an Aztec-style death cult. And this is an Australian politician, mind you. Peter Sweden said, breaking, the British government is set to approve experiments to block the sun to stop climate change. They have been for years. Are they just saying this now because everyone's noticing? They will be spraying chemtrails into the air to block the sun to lower the temperature. This is literally biological terrorism. As I said, we've been at war for many years. This has been happening for many years. A lot of people just don't know it. It's a silent war. What is it? Silent weapons for quiet weapons for silent wars, or silent weapons for quiet wars. One of the two. It used to be a documentary about chemtrails, actually. Okay. Libs of TikTok said, breaking, Minnesota AG Keith Ellison has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration after the DOJ threatened to cut federal funds to the state for allowing males to invade female sports. They're spending your tax dollars and ensuring men can continue beating up women. Unreal. If I was in Minnesota, I'd be contacting AG Keith Ellison. I tend to do that. I write a lot of emails to people. Ring people. Okay, I post forbidden videos. What sort of device would prevent this from happening? I can tell you straight away. A firearm. If the guy was armed, couple of shots and no one would be anywhere near it, okay? Funny how they have, this guy has a striped shirt. Do you remember the old jail movies where they all had striped shirts? Anyway, they broke it in, and I know exactly what would stop that. But hey, I'm an Australian where guns are illegal for normal citizens and you're not allowed to use them for self-defence, even if you have one. Okay, Joe said Chris Donald, a 15-year-old white Scottish boy abducted, tortured, stabbed and burnt alive in one of the most brutal, racially motivated murders the UK has ever seen. His killers, British Pakistani men who targeted him solely because of his race, were sentenced to life. But life there doesn't mean what life means in the US. And same here in Australia. But now, in 2025, they're approaching parole eligibility. One as early as 2027. People like this should face deportation, no exceptions. Okay, I agree. You should deport them. See you later, mate. Or capital punishment. Bring back capital punishment. Don't even deport them. Just see you later, mate. A life for a life. Probably, damn it, Mandy. Ilhan Omar, the brother plucker. Yeah. The one who married a brother to get him into the country. Bag of Voice said breaking. Lawmakers in Minnesota introduced legislation to ban mRNA. Oh, okay. Procedures labelling them as weapons of mass destruction. It's happening. Wow, from one bit of bad news in Minnesota to another bit of... Are they really doing that? Wow. Hodge Twins said we know Democrats would have us in chains already. Matt Couch said not one indictment of anyone from the deep state. Mountains of evidence. Democrats would have had 40 criminal referrals by now. It's time to see something. President Trump seems to be the only one making waves. Those he hired need to start doing something, and I believe they are. Okay, they can't make any freaking mistake. Not one. They cannot let one little loophole go or these people walk. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, Democrats would do it already, but then they're not really following the law, are they? And then it'd be exposed, 6, 12 months. How long has J6 has been there? 4 or 5 years later, it would be exposed that it's, not legit. But Trump has to do it legitimately. Okay? Like, a lie's already spread around the world 10 times before the truth has even bloody laced up its boots, mate. I know that's not the actual quote. But that's how it is. So we have to have some patience because they have to get this right. Also, I believe that as we saw, a lot of SCOTUS is working against them too. So could this be an excuse to go to military rule for a little bit? We'll wait and see. Libs of TikTok said LGBTQ activists on TikTok thinks that sex is a spectrum and claims that a penis is exactly the same as clitoris. I don't think so, mate. We have a serious mental health issue in this, I'll say. No. You insane lunatic. Hang on, let's have a look.
This is just a gentle reminder that male and female sexual organs are what we call homologous, which means that they are made from the same embryonic tissue. And that means that a penis is a clitoris. It is the exact same thing, just protruding or inverted. Testes and ovaries are the exact same thing. We are all sexless in the womb, and we just get pushed to one side of the spectrum or another.
Oh, bullshit.
Even our chromosomes are not binary. There are many different variations beyond XX and XY. And even if you have XX or XY, the expression of those chromosomes is an infinite spectrum. Sex is a spectrum. It is not a binary. Have a great day.
And this is an example of a lunatic. Okay? This is an example of a lunatic. It's not, oh my God, does he not realise men and women are completely different? Who taught him? Did he learn this in university? or in school or off TikTok? Holy shit. These people are crazy, mate. Okay, Libs of TikTok said, what the fuck? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. This is Reddit, trans Reddit, right? Okay, let's see if I can actually read this. Oh, my God. This person, I don't even know what their name is. I don't even know which one is the name here, okay? I don't know. You can read it for yourself. This person's been on estrogen for 3 years and their cum tastes wildly different. What are you doing? What are you tasting your... What the fuck are you doing? It used to be gross and smell chlorine. Now it tastes basically like nothing. I thought this was interesting. That is all. Okay, look. Dear God, right? Dear Father in heaven, please forgive us for this. You fucking idiot. Right? Oh my God, do you know, for both men and women, but mind you, there's more studies on men, but cunnilingus can cause cancer, okay? It can for both men and women. Okay, a lot of men just want to say that it just causes it for them, but no, it's both. Okay? And what are you doing with your own? Like, I just have no words. Sorry, guys. I've got no words. Nothing. What, does he aim it at his mouth when he's, like, having his own little playtime by himself? I don't know. Would it reach? I don't know. I'm sitting here, my mind's going over all sorts of, please bring my mind back. Peace, love, and nothing to do with that. Thank you very much, God, please. Okay. Oh, no, because the news is full of it. Benny Johnson said Michelle Obama, as a black woman, we don't articulate our pain. Last time I checked, that's all she ever does. Yeah. Okay, as black, can I just cover that up and say men? Okay, just cover the WO, right? As black men, we don't articulate our pain. Sorry, sorry to the black guys out there. I don't mean you guys, you know, but ones like this, yes. That's all they ever do. Okay, Cat Turd said, what a joke. Brian Harrison said the Texas House just voted to make property taxes $3 billion higher to create a Texas NIH to study health care. The House is out of control and can't spend your money fast enough. Watch me speak against it, then watch most Republicans join Democrats to pass it. And this is where I think you need the military to come and step in now. Nothing's being done. It's all leading to that. You know, this may have to, because they're so high up, okay? It may be up to the military to take them down in the end. Okay, so don't freak out if your streets end up full of military people. Okay, now we've got more insanity, as if that wasn't enough, right? Libs of TikTok, federally funded masturbation lessons for children. Boulder Valley Health Center, an abortion clinic in Colorado, poor Timmy, is hosting a free sex ed summer camp for children, which will teach them about gender ideology. Timmy's laughing. Does he aim for his mouth? Well, I think he might. Like I really do seriously think the man, I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to try this again because Timmy just made me laugh my head off. Okay, federally funded masturbation lessons for... This is not funny. Okay, Boulder Valley Health Center, an abortion clinic in Colorado, is hosting a free sex ed summer camp for children, which will teach them about gender ideology and everything related to sex, body, sexuality, sexy feelings, and justice. They don't need to know about that, mate. Shit, let children be children, for God's sake. They also want to teach children about consenting to sex and pleasure in all sorts of ways. Disgusting. The clinic receives federal funding. The clinic should be shut down. Boulder Valley Health Centre. Crown Institute. Oh my God. We will talk about everything related to sex, bodies, sexuality, sexy feelings, media, power and justice. Some topics might include bodies beyond the binary, feelings and how to navigate them, gender and sexuality, consent and communication, relationships, pleasure in all sorts of ways, self-love and so much more. What, like that other guy was giving himself some self-love up above? Mate. Holy shit. Yeah, we need to arrest half these teachers, more than half. I don't know. Half or more than half? What do you reckon? N. Wokeness said breaking. Houston man who beat an old man with dementia was released on bond, lowered from $1 million to just $20,000. He just assaulted a woman. And I don't even want to, okay, I can't look at it, okay? It's really going to piss me off if I do. I've already looked at it once, right? And it's two men beating up an old man with dementia. I cannot. I want to tear someone apart, okay, with my bare hands after looking at that. Deep breath. Take a deep breath with me, guys. Okay. Stolen Valor said subject, verification of Cat Turd's military service. I have communicated with Cat Turd, who has provided me with his DD-214 and honourable discharge certificate. I have verified that he is an Army veteran who served honourably and was discharged accordingly. After reviewing his documentation, I can confirm his authenticity. I hope this addresses any inquiries regarding his military service. Please note that my involvement is strictly limited to verifying his service. I'm not participating in any related disputes. Okay, Cat Turd is actual military. Okay? I am following. Yeah, I'm following. Good, okay. I was going to say, I'm sure I'm following them. Okay, Benny Johnson said breaking. The Department of Justice indicts a high-up Nicaragua member on terrorism charges for the first time. Okay, Attorney General Bondi said the charges represent an inflection point in how DOJ will prosecute members of Nicaragua. Okay. And as we know, Britain's about to try and start blocking the sun with chemtrails that have been going on for years. I think there's too many people questioning it now. That they had to say, oh, yeah, we're going to block out the sun now. We'll spray. When they've been doing it all along. Elizabeth McDonald said the biggest and most unreported story today was the New York Times reporting Susan Rice was in the group running the Joe Biden White House. Joe Biden said he opposed biological men in women's sports because it was unfair to women athletes, but Susan Rice overrode him to change Title IX. Am I right? Oh, no. There's another one. Okay, I can't wait till they get them all, man. Laura Powell said in 2025, an attorney for a government school district is able to make it all the way to the US Supreme Court defending exposing children as young as 3 years old to books about sexuality. Imagine going back in time to any point, even just a few years ago, and explaining that this is considered a serious argument. What I find most remarkable about the exchange is the attorney's acknowledgement that their intent is to influence children. He begins to explain that the goal is to install civility. What? Which is the natural consequence of being exposed to before he's cut off. What he was going to say, that civility results from exposure to sexual content at a very young age. What could civility possibly mean here? I've got no friggin' idea. Mr. Schoenfeld, Pride Puppy was the book that was used for the pre-kindergarten curriculum. That's no longer in the curriculum. Justice Gorsuch, that's the one where they're supposed to look for the leather and things, bondage, things like that, right? Mr. Schoenfeld, it's not bondage, it's a woman in leather. Justice Gorsuch, sex worker, right? Mr. Schoenfeld, no, that's not correct, no. Justice Gorsuch, I thought, gosh, I read it. Justice Barrett, it's a drag queen in drag. Justice Gorsuch, drag queen in drag queen? Mr. Schoenfeld, so correct. The leather that they're pointing to is a woman in a leather jacket, and one of the words is drag queen in this. Justice Gorsuch said, and they're supposed to look for those? Mr. Schoenfeld said it's an option at the end of the book, correct. Justice Gorsuch said, yeah, okay, and you've included these in the English language curriculum rather than the human sexuality curriculum to influence students. Is that fair? That's what the district court found. Do you agree with that? Mr. Schoenfeld, I think to the extent the district court found that it was to influence them towards civility. The natural consequence of being exposed to Justice Gorsuch, whatever, but to influence them. Mr. Schoenfeld, in the manner that I just mentioned, yes. Oh, dear God. Attorney for Montgomery Schools, MD Public Schools. Oh, geez, honestly. These people, can we just lock them all up? Can we stick them in a nut house? Can we actually, anyone who's hurt a child, can we, millstones? In the ocean. See you later. Benny Johnson said Breaking Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has referred intel officials to the DOJ for prosecution for leaking classified information. Go, guys. Now let's see something. American AF said liberal white woman is protesting Donald Trump because he said the news is lying to people. She trusts NPR and believes Border Patrol controlled the border under Biden. Let's have a look.
So what scares you most about Trump and Elon Musk?
I think what scares me most about them is the mistrust that they want to place in us about the media and their narrative that the media is lying to us, because then we can't have a reliable source to get unbiased news from. So I think that just jeopardizes everything.
What media do you think is not lying to us?
I think that NPR is a good unbiased, since it's publicly funded media source. So that would be one off the top of my head.
What other thing scares you about Trump and Musk?
One thing that we were just talking about is, for example, that American citizen that they have deported that they won't bring back. So, that just makes you wonder.
It wasn't an American citizen, you absolute moron, and that's what you get for listening to mainstream media.
That could happen to you next, or how many times that's going to happen.
Do you think it was kind of strange under the Biden-Harris administration that we were allowed to let people come in and nobody questioned that?
I wouldn't say that we were allowed to let people in and no one questioned it. We definitely still had Border Patrol and our laws and borders. Yes, more people came in, but I wouldn't say it was a free-for-all by any means. Of course, it was more, but...
Do you think the Border Patrol was actually allowed to work under the Biden-Harris administration?
Yes, I do.
And that's what you sound like when you listen to mainstream media. Okay. I hear it all the time from people who are like, I don't even listen to mainstream media anymore, and I know that they're parroting it still. Attorney General Andrew Bailey said breaking the National Human Trafficking Hotline stopped forwarding critical tips to law enforcement. Tips from truckers, hotel clerks and citizens who see something wrong buried. We're putting an end to that. For years, the hotline operator refused to share third-party tips with law enforcement. These weren't anonymous calls from victims. They were credible leads from people who saw trafficking happening, and they were ignored. When tips like these go unreported, law enforcement loses the ability to act. Traffickers go free and victims remain trapped. Last week, I joined a coalition of attorneys general calling on HHS to fix this. We demand that the next group receiving federal funds for the hotline commit to working with law enforcement. The new federal grant guidelines now require that the hotline engage law enforcement and report these tips. But we're going further. We're making sure whoever gets this funding actually follows through. Missouri is not sitting on the sidelines. We're forcing accountability because fighting human trafficking requires real partnership, not bureaucratic silence. Our message is clear. Protecting the vulnerable isn't optional. It is the law. Way to go, mate. That's Attorney General Andrew Bailey. Okay, Pop Bay said Pope Francis' cause of death has been revealed as a stroke which led to a coma followed by heart failure. I think I read that yesterday. I think that's it, is it? Yes, it is. There you go. So we'll go read the comments, guys. And Timmy was first today. Dennis Biz, how you going? Mum's doing well, family's doing well. Thank God you're feeling much better today, Timmy. Your voice is still gone. Well, I won't ring you. I'll leave you for now. So you don't have to try and croak your way through talking. I'll message you instead. Dennis Biz said, Timmy, hope you're feeling better, best. Hope you're feeling your better best. Everyone's saying hello. George is in here. How you going, George? Starchild, how you going? Raven, how you going? Out to lunch, how you going? Okay, let's start reading. Dennis Biz said, oh, wow, he schmucks the medical system is waxed. Out to lunch said, you know it was fake because the audience clapped. AI fake news, George said. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The first film clip I showed was of RFK Jr. is obviously an AI one. Because I don't think he'd call Bill Maher a pothead, would he? Would he? I don't know. Oh, my stomach's making noises all over the place. Stu said, hello, possums. How you going, Stu? Yeah, I had possums put 2 shorts up yesterday with possums, mummy possums, that brought their babies to see me. I thought it was just one at first, but then another one appeared and they had a little bit of a kerfuffle. And then, yeah, both went their own way. Hopefully they didn't get injured. I don't think they did. But they freak out over nothing. Like one came up to me and then just like freaked out, ran into a box I had sitting there and then ran under the house, all with a baby on the back of it. Nearly knocked itself out. Out to lunch said possums, Stu. Oh, hello, possums was an Australian Dame Edna Everage, was it? It was a man, Barry someone. He used to dress up as an old woman, and it was Dame Edna Everage was the character, and he used to say, hello, possums. And out to lunch said possum stew. Sounds yucky. Actually, I think there might be a thing with possums. Some people do eat them. I'm sure the Aboriginals probably tried. Deb said, hello, sweetie. How you going, Deb? George said, I'm okay, thanks, Stu. How are you? Deb said, hello, possum Stu. Stu said, I'm doing okay, thank you, George. Can't complain. Hey, Paulie Donuts, how you going? Good to see you guys. Who else have we got in here? And Deb saying hello to our Dr. Timmy. Out to lunch has spelt it wrong. It's Paulie Donuts, not Paulie D's Nuts. Although it's a pretty good name. She said, yes, well, they should remember how handy us Aussies are with old bayonets if they think we got no guns and want to take over our country. Well, look, I can make a spear out of a stick and I'm a woman. I know how to whittle, right? I know how to whittle to make something sharp. If I can do it, anyone can. Oh, dear. And Deb said, hello, Mummy Raven, Little Moon. Kai said, lurking a moment, loading my pipe, hit the like button and fill it in, damn it. Thank you very much, Kai. God love you. Out to lunch said, Donna's so happy spring is here. She wet her plants. It's a good one. Out to lunch. Kai said, Pineapple Express today. And how you going, Kai, by the way? Good to see you. Out to lunch said, heard that this morning, couldn't wait to share. What was that? Out to lunch. Oh, the Donna one is so happy she wet her plants. Yes. Paranormal Oz, how you going? Hope you're well too. I'm good. I've got a lot to do. Stu said, good on you, Hev. Oh, for going down to, pay respects to our any alive diggers and the ones who've passed as well. Yep, Deb said, good on you, Hev. We need to not let them take everything away. Exactly. Deb said, all changing children's behaviour. Stu said, hey, Kai, hope you're feeling better. Kai said, mildly. I'm at least wearing a grim smile now. God love you, Kai. J1, how you going? George said, a lot less chemicals in British foods. Yeah. I think it's the same as with Australia. We have less chemicals. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. Kai said, I've got that, about to scratch the lotto ticket, anticipation going, couple of weeks, maybe 3. God love you. Kai said, at the moment while listening and typing, I'm rebuilding a 45-year-old BB gun. Oh, wow. Stu said, love the old BB guns. They're banned nowhere in Australia. What are the kids going to do for fun? Yeah, they're banned here. Yeah, I used to love playing with a BB gun. Shooting aluminium cans out the back against the wooden fence. Kai said, I figure I use the brain when it's not shorted out. Body doesn't shake. Yeah, Deb said, I miss the BB gun. Kai said, BB gun banning is just over the top. Oh, wait till you hear. Even paintball guns are banned. Toy guns are banned. Yep. Anything that looks realistic, banned. Yeah, they banned them all, including kids' toys, most of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they banned all of them, actually. Paranormal Oz said, I love BB guns too. They exist in Oz still. I import them from Germany. Oh, God love you, Paranormal Oz. Deb said, pew, pew. Kai said, this was my first BB gun, found in the corner of the old shop. Oh. Stu said, cool, Oz, I want one as my mum gave away my air rifle. It wasn't hers to give. Kai said, 10 pump Daisy, 300-yard scope. Wow. Damn it, Mandy said, isn't Minnesota home to that nut job Ilhan Omar, the brother plucker? I'm not shocked that anyone in that state is suing Trump. Oh, God love you. How you going, damn it, Mandy? Good to see ya. Stu said, scope. That's the way I had one on my... That's the way I had one on my air rifle too. Deb said, bring back the swing. Kai said, I'm going to have to build a front scope clip. Paranormal Oz said, yeah, I have warrants, so I'll talk to you when I get sorted out. I had to bury mine. Oh, God, love you, Paranormal Oz. Keep them hidden, mate. Damn it, Mandy, Kai, good evening. Always good to see ya. Stu said, Kai, they're great for mouse and rat control. Yes, they are, actually. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Kai said, good for bigger stuff too if you hit the right spot. If not, you piss off a bigger animal. I got hit in the leg with a BB gun from a couple of 100 yards, maybe. Yards are smaller than meters, aren't they? It was only a few meters away. Lucky my pants were so tight it bounced off it. It was good material. Okay. Deb said, yes, so much mental illness. Kai said, but rabbit and squirrel. Dennis Biz said, what? George said, another woke twat. Damn it, man, he said, I can't imagine what this idiot ever did to become this stupid in life. Honestly, most of them. I cannot imagine what the fuck? J1 said, sounds like a PhD student. Yes. Kai said, in my experience, it usually starts with a request to gentle. Dennis Biz said, a Wheaties packet. Mandy said, I hope he never has kids. Yes, I hope most of those people never have kids. Deb said, poke out my eyes, please. Paranormal Oz said, what the fuck? Mandy said, what are they comparing their own semen to? That's disgusting. I don't know. I think they've been eating it, damn it, Mandy. I think they've been eating their own semen. Dennis Biz said they'd be better to eat pineapples. Gosh, they're juveniles. Stu said cringe. Deb said that man swallow. Kai said throat hugger. George said nasty. Damn it, Mandy said no woman will have him. Deb said not normal, guy. Paranormal Oz said yuck. Tim said, oh my fucking God, laugh my ass off. Paranormal said, what? I like cunnilingus. I'm sorry, Paranormal Oz, but apparently for men and women, it causes cancer. Deb said, great segue to Big Mike. And Kai said, Dr. T. And Flyby said, hi, Hev, I'm removing the message I left in the comments. It wasn't Nestle, sorry, it was Roundtree, for fuck's sake, lol. Fair enough, Flyby Stew, no worries at all. Kai said the bearded clam. Damn it, man. He said black men don't articulate their pain. One of the biggest crybaby bitches around was Jesse Smollett. Yeah, he was, actually. But it's a certain type of, like most black men, I don't think are like this, but there's a certain type that are. Yeah, and they're the Jesse Smollett types and the Obama types. Pat said, what's going on with Ilhan Omar is common practice. It's Darwinism and the offspring suffer. Tim said, oh, Jesus, what, does he aim for his mouth? I don't know. Stu said pink eye. He probably gets himself in the eye as well. I don't know. Damn it, man. He said, is that real? I don't know. Well, it's a Reddit post, so that's where all the weirdos go. Sorry, anyone on Reddit, but that's where all the weirdos go, right? For, trans stuff and gay stuff and weird gay stuff, Okay. Timo said, pardon me while I go poke out my mind's eye. Yep, exactly, Timo. I wish I could unread what I read, so I thought I'd share it with you guys, so you have to hear it too, because I can't unsee it, right? I can't unread it. So now you guys can't unhear it. Dennis Biz said it gets worse. Starchild said, what? Kai said you should all research Japanese sex ed. Why? What do they do? Deb said, I took out both my eyes. Kai said, it's extreme. Oh, no. Deb said, sounds like pedos running things. Stu said, enough of the toilet licking and now let's get back to work. George said, whoever is teaching kids this crap needs arresting. Honestly, they do. They really do. They need more than arresting. If they're trying to teach that to kids, they need millstones, man. Deb said, sick people. Dennis Bez said, is Batna aunt behind all that? What, Bettina aunt? I don't know. Yeah, the aunt lady from, John Benet Ramsey. Yeah, that aunt woman. I don't know. She was weird when she was being interviewed. I don't know. It set something off in me that I did not believe the woman. Sorry. Tim said, colour me surprised. It's right. Oh.
Deb Richardson tipped $3.18. Congratulations, Tim Ma, on being first in chat. Hello to Hev's pussies and chickens.
Deb. Oh, God love you, Deb, you're a legend. Yeah, my cats are doing well, and the chickens are also doing well. Oh, Timo said, colour me surprised. It's right in Boulder, Colorado, San Francisco. Abortion clinics are not fucking health centres. What? Exactly. And Deb said, oh, my God, Stu. Kai said, a faint cry from the men's room. Somebody had hot peppers. Damn it, Mandy said, I'd love to go to that, even for just 5 minutes, to see how they're indoctrinating the children there. I don't like institutions and organisations that try to teach children in the parents' place. Yes. Well, it says a lot for homeschooling these days. We probably need more homeschooling. And that way your children cannot be taught this bullshit. And that's what it is. It's absolute bullshit. It's perverted. It's sick. And they need millstones around their neck and be thrown in the ocean. That's what the Bible says to do. And I'm all for that. Either that or capital punishment, mate, for anyone who touches your child. Starchild said, I can't, too much. Kai said, gross broccoli. Hey, Jules, how you going? Flyby Stew, I don't think I said hello to you. How you going, Flyby Stew? What do you expect when all people at the top, gay, trans, or both crazy chosen world? Yep. Jules said, Kai, Jason is alive too. Stu said, drugs fried a bloke I knew. He likes to wear nappies and sleep with dirty nappies. Oh, no. Yeah, that's mentally ill. That is really. How sad. But hey, that's what's going to happen to people who, a lot of people are going to be in nappies soon. from all the backdoor shit's been going on as well. Men and women. I don't know. Yuck. Deb said, yes, there was a man that did research on baby and children, but it was so gross. Oh, he was banned, but they still want his research. Sorry, can't remember his name. I remember that too, Deb, and I can't remember his name either. Oh, Stu said, twisting children's minds, the sickos. J1 said they may have escaped the flood, but they won't escape the fire. Exactly. Stu said, she looks like Geddy Lee. Paul DeWar, how you going, Paul? And Deb said, sorry, but they're retarded. Yes, they are retarded. Where was I up to? Here somewhere. Starchild said, why not ask about the camp? Sherry said, sorry, I'm late, y'all. Hello, everyone. How you going, Sherry? Paranormal Oz said, how stupid are people? I know. Maria, how you going? Hope you're doing well too. God love you. Deb said, Timmy got first place. Stu said, stroke, 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 stroke me. Who remembers that? Oh, yeah. Yep, that song by Billy Squire. Yes, I do remember that. Can't remember how it goes. I remember some of it, but... George said the Pope gave Easter service and passed away 2 hours later. Did God strike him down? Out to lunch said, have the possum whisperer. Look, I don't know what it is with me and animals, but like I have a thing with animals. I've had like magpies, all sorts of birds down in the yard. I've had, snakes, they're just common to Australia. I've had a couple of them pass on the front lawn and go up trees and stuff, or been put up trees. I've had a turkey, a wild bush turkey that was hanging around for ages. I've had stray cats hang around. Now the possums are here and they're hanging around too. I don't know what it is with me and animals. I love animals, but they apparently love me too. Deb said, nature loves our Hev. Yeah, for some reason it does. Stu said, don't be fooled, Hev, they're savage, fight like grizzly bears. Yes, I know. But they both had babies on their backs, so I don't think they were willing to go the whole round, They were just kind of warning each other. That was a warning. And Flyby said, who's that, Stu? Damn it, man. He said, Paulie Donuts, happy to see you, my good friend. Blessings to you and Kaiser always. Oh, Maria, that's who it was, Barry Humphries. Yes, the Australian actor who used to dress up as Dame Edna Everage and say, hello, possums. Stu said the possums fly by, typically brush tails. The little ringtails are timid. Yep. Yeah, they're brush tails, these ones. Stu said, they look so cute. I know I get one wild and you'll know about it. Yeah, but get one wild and you'll know about it. Yeah, exactly. Well, I've had them in my fireplace. They came down the chimney and slept in the fireplace during the day. One of them, I actually lowered there's a shelf inside the fireplace. So it stops the flames just going straight up the chimney, It's a combustion fire. And he was sitting on that, or he or she, I don't know. I think it was a she. I think it was this mum that come back to show me her baby. Anyway, she was sitting on that and I'd lowered it and she was sitting in my fireplace. And they've done it quite a few times. And then when I lit the fireplace last week and it smoked out the house, I thought, oh no, don't tell me there was a possum in there. Oh no. I don't know. But I don't think so because it was clean anyway. Even when I cleaned it, it was clean. So I don't know what was blocking it that day. Just hopefully I didn't burn a possum's behind. Okay, Flyby said, sorry, Stu. I thought you was on about some crazy loon in society, lol. Stu said you can get sick as 50 cal bottle pressured air guns now. You can get sick as 50 cal bottle pressured air guns now, can you? Del said, just got mad fucking deja vu. Hello, Hev. And chat all over the world from Lewisham Stan. How you going, Del? Good to see ya. Stu said, they are, Stu, they are. Del said, Matrix tracks all said, remember, it's for vermin only. Del said, there's an air gun like a machine gun, but got ballistics that rock. Ooh, really? Damn it, Mandy said, Hev, we're so happy to see you yesterday. We don't know who did that, but had someone with a wrench turn on us a while back. Forgot they had a wrench until a lot of our good people went missing. Oh, no worries at all. Damn it, Mandy. Yeah, I was in a live about a week ago commenting and I said, hey, damn it, Mandy. Hey, all these people. And no one said hello back. And I thought, I don't think they're ignoring me. They normally say hello. Am I blocked? That was my first thought. And I went, oh, okay. So I watched the whole stream anyway. And I did try and comment, but no one saw me. And so I did ask Paulie Donuts if he could tell Grumpy Italian to unblock me. And so, and then I caught you yesterday on MRE's stream. And yeah, God love you. Thank you so much for that, damn it, Mandy. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I didn't think I'd done anything wrong. I knew that, like, someone had blocked me and it must have been a mistake because I don't normally do too much wrong in other people's chats. I might accidentally stick a wrong emoji in sometimes and go, oh, shit, wrong one. Stu said, yes, forget paintball. All us kids would have been air rifle wars. No headshots allowed. Del said, and by the way, I was shot with an air, what do you call it, the BB gun. But I never shot anyone with one. But someone shot me with one. Yeah, lucky it bounced off my pants. Stu said, yes, forget paintball. All us kids would have had, I read that one. Del said, George, evening, George, me old China plate. I hope your day has been a doozy. Del said, sorry, a nail gun, legal. Oh. Huh. Nail gun, hey? A nail gun. Huh. Okay, you can buy them in the... Mm-hmm. Yep, you can buy them in Bunnings. Okay. I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to say too much, but I'm pretty sure, self-defense and shit, A nail gun. Just start like, do they shoot like machine guns? Can you like make them shoot more than one when you hold the trigger? Del? George said, I'm okay, thanks, Del. How are you, mate? Del said, Darwin was a Satanist, enough said. Stu said, yes, Del, you can get the concrete ones that come with 22 shells of power. Damn it, Mandy said, I've been reading about celebrities drinking snake semen for a beauty regimen, like Kim Kardashian. It's not helping. Looks like all it gave her was a swollen ass. On your damn Mandy, that's a good one. Yeah, I have heard that too. They're drinking, they'll, look, they put, when they circumcise little boys? Well, on Ellen's show, I think it was Sandra Bullock was talking about, or someone was. Can't remember if it was Sandra Bullock or not. But they used that and spread that shit all over their face. The remains from circumcision. Flyby Stew said, Del Strain, nail guns are legal here. Mm-hmm. They are legal, yeah. Real Housewives, how you going? Good to see ya. Oh, shit, it jumped again. Okay. Del said, Flyby Stew, 50 call, mate. Lol, 50 cal or call? Lol, fucking looks like a ray gun. Del said they need a few days in 80s H Division with Uncle Chop Chop. Yes, Chopper Reed. Deb said, hello, Real Housewives. Stu said the gas-operated 40 cal pistols are a blast but illegal. J1 said, Real Housewife, bless you. Del said, Stu, Google paper bullets, Civil War invention, even Quincy's. Fuck, oh. Del said, Deb, tips hat, ma'am, hope you're good. Del said, UK on the brink of civil war, trust me. Stu said, hope you're feeling better, Timmy. Deb said, they can't run and hide, God knows, yes. They can run, but they can't hide. Deb said, prayers for our Dr. Timmy, yes, and Kai. Deb said, I hope Raven Lilith Moon is also doing well. Yes, definitely, pray for Luna. Stu said, I used to throw firecrackers up on my roof to stop them trampling all over the tin with their army boots. Oh, the possums. Yeah, because they sound like men on the roof with steel cap boots on. When a possum walks across a roof, especially my tin roof, it sounds like there's a man running across my roof. Deb said they're enjoying your warm roof. Stu said, I know, Deb, I feel bad. I don't hurt animals anymore. I grew up. Maria said, Dear Hev, I only knew his name because I watched too much TV as a youngster. Yep. Del said, sad individuals when they block you or replicate you, putting dents in their narrative. Deb said, like me, when cooking our beautiful Real Housewives, thank God she came back. Oh, yes, because Deb accidentally blocked or deleted one of Real Housewives' comments once. So poor Deb's feeling bad still. It's all right, Deb. Just make sure when you're on the stream, don't touch your phone. I know, because I might do it, Lena. I find myself when I'm walking around with my phone, if I'm at mod in someone else's chat, I'm like, it brings up the report block, go to their channel. I'm like, no, I don't want to do any of that. No. So, yeah. Okay. J1 said Ramset gum powered by 22. Stu said J1 Ramset, that's them. And Deb said you don't mess with tradies. Yeah, with nail guns. Del said machine gun style 60 a minute. Really? Okay. Well, since you can't buy firearms, right? I'm having thoughts, guys. I'm having thoughts here. Okay? Can you get battery operated ones? So cordless? You know the cordless hole punches? Can you get... Do they come like that? Okay. Damn it, Mandy said the best way to find out if you're blocked is to comment and chat, go out and come back in. If you don't see a comment anymore, you're blocked. Thank you. I didn't know that, damn it, Mandy. Thank you. Del said, L11 bang in, mate. Stu said, haha, we threw all rotten food at our mates when we were on the Garbo truck. Had to duck for cover when me mate building a house fired his nail gun back at us. Them were the days. Oh, my God. Oh, Stu. Deb said, Stormy was a butcher, another profession you should beware. He could have taken the pedo manhood, but he did not. Yep. Stu said, J1, you can buy them from Bunnings still. And yeah, spud guns were fun. Look, I used to have a spud gun, right? That was a tiny little black thing, and it looked like a real little tiny pistol, right? And I don't know what happened to them, but geez, they were fun to play with. Stu said, what about the orange guns? What, you mean the bright orange ones? Well, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were illegal next. I really wouldn't. Anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to go. I won't be back for the next 2 days, okay? I'll be back on my Sunday, which is your Saturday in the UK and the US. Yeah, next 2 days are out for me. Okay, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. And prayers for Timmy, Luna and Kai and anyone else who needs prayers out there. God love you. We'll pray for you. I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye, guys.